I don't know what to do. I know what to do. I just need to unfavorite the Hoth Rebel Soldier. He's not my favorite anymore. This is a mess, kind of. 7-star Hoth Rebel Soldier and a 7-star Hoth Han Solo is required for the Rolo missions. And based on the development build footage that I had in Arnold and Will, showed that it was going to be a 5-star Han and a 5-star Hoth Rebel Soldier, and that is not the case. Now, the thing that is creating an issue is that that guy right there is very, very, very hard to farm. In fact, you can get like one a day, and you can see like I need 100, so that's like 3 months. They are giving 30 shards away, and I think this is the reason. It's compensation because of the footage. It was a development build, so things changed. I'm not sure if we got the wrong build to record or if it changed after we were shown it, but the final version is that a 7-star Hoth Rebel Soldier, who's not like anybody's favorite hero, is required on the Hoth Leia missions, and we're going to go into that. And I just got to say this right now. Don't deploy first. Don't deploy first. Don't deploy first. We're going to go into territory battles and talk about why not to deploy first. But I'm going to collect my 30 shards because that's like a month. And then also I want to talk about these packs. And I don't normally buy these packs, but I might have to buy this pack because it takes so long to get the Hoth Rebel Soldier. My goodness, that takes like, you get like one a day. And, you know, that's when there's 3. Now we get 5. So maybe I get like 1.5 a day. And this way I can get 55. That's going to save me more than a month of time. That's going to push me pretty close to getting a 7-star. But these gear pieces right here are very expensive. If you're a person that buys gear parts or has put money into the game, this actually is a pretty good value. You got stun cuffs right there. Look at all those heroes I need. Those are like 1,400 crystals. I think this one here is over 1,400. This one here I believe is 2,000. Oh, these guys right here, my goodness. I think those are over 2,000. Same thing here and right there. Not that those aren't that important, but they're still important. But this right here is a brand new gear piece. There's a bunch of new gear that was added into the game, and that'll take your characters up to gear 12. So these are like new gear 11 pieces. And when you go to gear 12, this is pretty huge because there's a bunch of people that are already getting these pieces right now and they're like upgrading their R2. That's like the easiest one to do right there. His health and protection does jump up quite a bit and it is a significant boost, but the gear 12 parts that come after you go to gear 12 are the ones that give the big jump, and those are the hard ones to get. Farmable in a couple different places right here in 9-D, and then also like if we look at Commander Luke Skywalker, he's got a bunch of pieces that can be farmed too, and a lot of people are going to be doing that right now to get them up to gear 12 so they can start using the pieces that comes in the territory battle rewards. Take a look at this right here. This stuff is all farmable. Takes a while to get these. Probably take about half a week just using like standard refreshes, maybe using 2-3 refreshes to get these. Boy, and then they do jump up a little bit, and that is very good. Now, let's go into territory battles, and I just want to show what I think is the 2 most important things that are going to be holding people back in the territory battles. What you need to start working on to get the most out of the territory battles, kind of shown right here. You're going to need 7-star Hoth Rebel Soldier, 7-star Hoth Rebel Scout. You're going to need a 7-star Han, and you're going to need a 7-star Commander Luke Skywalker. Now, once the Hoth Leia is unlocked, she's also required for a mission. So there are a couple missions that require units, and we just want to go over that. Now, down here is the one that everybody is all concerned about. This used to be 5-star requirement. Now it has a 7-star requirement, or it was always supposed to have a 7-star requirement, except that the wrong build was shown. Everybody's kind of upset about that. I think a lot of people had the expectation that they were only going to need a 5-star Han and a 5-star Hoth Rebel Soldier. It was almost too good to be true, actually. So if I'm able to complete this special mission, 1 shard will be rewarded, and every single person in the guild will get that 1 shard. So if all 50 people in the guild can get that 1 shard, that means 50 people will get 50 shards. So you could have a 7-star Hoth Leia unlocked in probably 7 attempts at the territory battles. That's not what I'm really worried about. What I'm worried about mostly myself is that there's some hard missions over here. This one over here requires Rogue One. So you got to have your Rogue One. I'm sure a lot of people have some of them. And then there's another one that requires 6-star Phoenix. And the 6-star Phoenix is not so bad because that is the requirement for Thrawn. So a lot of people have Phoenix. Now, I just want to go over the turn order. Now, let me switch over to my test account, and we'll actually play in the territory battles, and we'll go through the tutorial. And I got to say it one more time. I already said in the video, if that's the only thing you get out of this video is do not deploy first, do not deploy first, do not deploy first, especially in phases 2 through 6. It's okay in phase 1, but phases 2 through 6, you do not want to deploy first. Now, this is the test account, so there's just YouTubers in here, not a lot of people. We have a total total GP of only 7 million, where like the guild that I'm in is at 116. Let's see if we've even played it. Deploy units in a territory to participate in missions. Each territory will display your guild average territory pricing. You do not want to do that first. Now, deploying does give like the majority of the points to get the stars, but you do not want to do that first, and I want to show you why you do not want to do this. Now, I force closed the app so that I would not deploy because I want to show you. Now, in the very first phase, it's fine to deploy first. It doesn't matter because in the very first phase, there's only one section. In the second phase, there's 2 sections. You can see that right here above me. In the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th sections, there are 3 sections, so you do not want to deploy right now. If you deploy all of the units into the middle one, you will not be able to play in the bottom. You want to deploy last. The first phase, it doesn't matter. So tomorrow on phase 2, do not deploy first. It's going to be a mess. You want to do it kind of in the order that I show you here. Okay, active territories are highlighted. Tap to select. Deploy units into territory to participate in missions. Each territory display your guild's activity in progress. Earn at least 1 star. Complete missions to earn stars. Let's select the units you want to deploy the units to this territory. I do not want to deploy units right now. They're forcing you to deploy units first in the first phase, and I do not want to deploy. Okay, so I'm going to back out. I'm not going to deploy. So I did not deploy them. Okay, so what I would do first is when I log in, I would go and actually look right here in the platoon, and I would hit enter, and I would look in each one of these things, and I look to see what characters are in here that are empty. Now, when I logged into my guild and on my normal account, all of them were filled out, and there was some difficulty with filling R2, and so the word went out is if you've got R2 and R2 is undergeared, put him in the platoon. So the first thing I would do is I would come into the platoon stage first, and I would look into the platoons, and I would look at the units that I have undergeared. Like, for example, I have an undergeared Cup, I have an undergeared POW, and so that's okay for me to deploy them because I'm not going to use them in a combat mission, and I'm not going to use them in a special mission. So first thing I would do is I would come into the platoon, and I would look into these little boxes right here, and I would look to see if I have any of the heroes to fill the requirement, and if I have undergeared, underleveled tunes, go ahead and do that, and you'll be just fine. Then you can assign them. Then I would go back out, and I would look at the combat missions, and the combat missions actually require playing, kind of like a Galactic War. There's 6 phases, and so you want to go through it, and you're going to want to use your powerful heroes. You're going to want to use your heroes that you have geared up the highest, and you have to allocate them between the 2. Like on this particular mission, there's 2. Now, some of these other phases have multiple combat missions, and they also have special missions. So you need to decide where you want to put units, and then there's also those special requirements where some of them require Hoth Rebel Soldier, Hoth Rebel Scout. Some of them are Rebel only, and there's some that require Rogue One characters, and some of them that have the Phoenix characters. The point is that you want to do this combat mission before you do any deployment, because if you deploy everything into this top phase right here, you go and deploy everybody right there, then you won't be able to play the bottom one, and that is not good. So after you have played the combat missions and you've completed both combat missions, hopefully you got them to all the way through 6 phases and you had success. This very first round is very easy. Boy, it accelerates a lot as the days go on. Then go back into the platoon missions. You're done playing all your combat missions. You're done playing all your special missions. You can go in and fill these spots off as much as you want. I'm just going to go ahead and do that here, fill them all in. And then once I've done 10, I'll be done. And then the rest of my guild can go in and finish that up. Then after all of that is done, you can deploy. So check in with the platoon. Put in your undergeared heroes, your underleveled heroes, heroes that you're not going to use in the combat missions. Go play the special mission. Go play the combat missions. come back to the platoon and fill the rest of the slots, then deploy. And be sure to deploy wherever your guild is telling you to deploy. You know, if the requirements are done here on the ion cannon, then it's probably don't want to deploy there, and you want to do it down here on Overlook. And it's important to look to see what your guild is doing. Maybe you have a Discord with your guild, and follow the direction of your guild so that you don't deploy into the wrong spot. But you're going to want to deploy into the spot that you don't have 3 stars. So if it's already at 3 stars, there's no point in deploying when the other one has open spots. And the platoons are important because they give bonuses for that next phase, and so you want to be able to get all of these filled up. It takes a total of 90 heroes to fill all of it up, so in theory, on this particular platoon, 9 people could complete it on their own. The number will go from 0 to 6. When it goes to 6, you get the maximum bonuses, and the bonuses are shown here, and that'll help you in phase 2. And the platoons work that way all the way to the 6th phase, and then on the 6th phase, there is actually a way of disabling some of the attacks for the final boss, which is going to be the AT-AT, which I'm pretty excited to do. I haven't seen it other than the commercial. All right. Well, let me know in the comment section what you think about this. I just want to acknowledge that a lot of people are disappointed that the requirements for Hoth Rebel Soldier is higher than we all thought it was going to be. That guy's hard to get, and he's not my favorite. He saw me unfavored him at the beginning of the video. So let me know what you think. I'm trying to stay positive about this stuff. I'm glad they gave us some shards, but it is what it is. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and keep on gaming.